Hey everybody, Matt Monster here, back with Marvel Heroes, and I got Loki here. I got him to 50, so I got to play with him a little bit, and I tried a whole bunch of different skills. I came up with an interesting build that I kind of liked more than the average build that I think a lot of people are doing, or the average kindish build that people are kind of doing, which either focuses around the meteoric illusion and lay waste. Now this would be a very strong PvE build. I'm not sure about PvP. A lot of people are starting to ask me about the PvP, seeing how PvP is released. I'm not a really good PvP player. I'll give the information that I can from the people that I know that PvP, but I just don't do it. It's not my thing. So, but I do love the PvE, and this build in PvE is pretty rock star, I think. And I call it the Supercool Frost Mage build. And it's not because it's super cool, even though it is super cool, but it's more of a play on the fact that it's super cooling. Whereas you're freezing targets and exploiting that freeze to do extra damage with a couple of abilities. So it's going to be a kind of unpopular Son of Jotunheim build. I say unpopular because not too many people do it that I know of. I'm not sure why. And it was joked around when he first came out that people would make fun of Son of Jotunheim players. But I kind of find a couple skills very, very overpowered. One of them being this Cold Snap. Now this thing's hitting for 8,500 to 1,200 damage, which is around what the one of for my Iron Man's doing, except the cooldown on this one is 6 seconds compared to Iron Man's 30 seconds. And I know what I'm saying here is my Iron Man is 10 levels lower than my Loki. So that's probably why I'm seeing such a dramatic change in damage. However, I do want to show I have some phenomenal gear on, but my gear is all 10 levels lower, especially the weapon, and that's going to affect my damage rating quite substantially. However, I do understand that the levels do scale out, so I'm sure the one-of does do more damage at 50. However, if the target's frozen, I'm quite sure Cold Snap doing double this damage kind of compares to it. And I will show you, this is Cold Snap here. It hits almost as wide as an area as the one-of. So if you're an Iron Man player and you picked up Loki and you liked the one-of skill play, I think you're really going to love this build. It's going to be a late game build, obviously, because Cold Snap's level 47, unfortunately. So you won't be able to play this till probably 41, 42 when you can get plus gear. But permafrost spikes you can get rather early, and they are very powerful. So to get into the Supercool Frost Mage build, I love the name, we are going to play with some God of Mischiefs. Obviously the super strong Spatial Deception, Lord of Deception skills. We are going to maximize these. These are going to give us our distractions, our illusions. Our illusions are going to do lots of damage for us, so we're not going to totally ignore those guys. However, this build, Loki will dish out very good amounts of damage himself, as well as the illusions. Whereas the meteoric illusions kind of relying on the illusions being around and dropping them. So we are using Spatial Deception, and we are using the Lord of Deception passive, so we have the illusions out. And then we're going to be ignoring everything else here. We will put 1 point in Meteoric Illusion. Not for damage, though. This will be so when we're bouncing around a map and we're teleporting all over the place and our pets are everywhere, we can pull out the Meteoric Illusion and get our pets onto one target when we have to. Very handy ability to do. You won't need it all too often. Once in a while. It'll be very, very handy to be able to drop that down. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to max out the permafrost spikes. As you can see, I got a lot of points in it now. It's doing a pretty good amount of damage. This will usually one-shot trash pack whites. 5,500 to 7,400 damage before a crit. I got a really high crit rating. I crit about 40% of the time right now, and it's only going to go up. And what's interesting is it's also got a slow. That slows the attack speed and movement speed. It's a slow duration. However, if you hit the same target twice, so we're talking now blues and yellows, it will freeze them. It will work on bosses and like zone bosses. However, it won't work a lot of the time. So once you freeze them, it will be a while before you refreeze them. However, the slow duration will apply on them, but they'll resist parts of it. And when they're frozen, and you hit Cold Snap, which is our second skill that we're going to put points in, and we're going to put as many points as possible in. You can see we get 100% big damage bonus on there. And if enemies are chilled, if they have the chilled effect on them, we regenerate health per enemy hit that is chilled. So that's an added bonus. And it does massive amounts of damage. It's awesome being able to do that once every 6 seconds. Basically, I drop a couple of these, hit this, wait a couple seconds, drop a couple permafrost spikes, hit Cold Snap again, wait a few seconds, and I don't have too much mana problems. On a boss, I can just permafrost spikes, just hold the button down, and then switch the button over to Cold Snap to fire that off when I want to. And it's a lot of damage. Now we're going to put points to Frost Armor. We want that 7% of the damage that we deal as returned as health. I know some people are feeling that they don't feel that that is working. It is working. I have a Lifesteal core on as well, and I can definitely see the life coming back in with the core. 0.7% isn't a lot at lower levels. 0.5% isn't a lot at lower levels, but it is happening. And you'll start to see it at higher levels more and more and more as you start to do more damage. So, you know, to see 1 health, obviously you'd have to do 70 damage. So it takes a lot of damage to start paying off. And then our final point builder that we're going to use, our 6th skill that we're going to put points in, is actually Jotun Blood. And we're not doing it for the defense or the health, although those are just extra bonuses along with that tenacity. It's that bonus slow that's going to be extra CC. We're PvEing, obviously, and this is going to help us out a lot, especially in higher levels of X defense, T4 reds, T5s, the raids when they come out, all those things that we're waiting for to happen. We're going to want some CC ability, even though other characters will. It'll be nice to have your own ability to do it. And, of course, we're going to get the extra damage. So I'm just maximizing on that. I'm not ignoring Master Sorcerer. That's on one of my grants plus 20s or grants plus whatever you can get for it. That would be ideal if you can get it. I won't. I'll have all uniques, but if you can get it, you can get it. We are putting 1 point into Unyielding Power, so you can turn that on. Very nice effect to be able to go on. I know if you put points into it, you get some more duration out of it eventually, and it can kind of get on for quite a while. I just don't like putting points into skills I can only have half the time up. It's not my style. And then if you can get grants pluses or higher, and then you can get for bonuses on it. That's all great. And like I said, Meteoric Illusion, we're going to put 1 point in, and of course, Enemy of My Enemy, another one that's great for grants plus whatever's at higher levels. And then this is my bar setup. I usually have my fingers set on the 6, 5, and 4 buttons. I can just move my ring finger over to set off Unyielding Power when I want it. I only use it on yellows or bosses, so it's only really needed then. And I really use Permafrost Spikes. As you can see, if you just hold down Permafrost Spikes, it just casts it as much as you want. It's not that much of a spirit drain. And then you can set off your Cold Snap on the other button, and then Meteoric Illusion. And then I just hit the button and Frost Armor's on. I have my teleport, obviously. I tend to use my teleport to make illusions as well. And then I want my illusions back, so I just hit the slam and they all come to me. And then I have Spatial Deception as a left mouse button. So if you hold down Permafrost Spikes, you'll stop casting Spatial Deception. Usually I just tap the button. So I'll be holding down my Spatial Deception to cast it, and then I'll just be hitting a Spatial or a Permafrost Spike here and there. Or I'll try to get 2 to go off right before I do a Cold Snap, and then I'll wait for the Cold Snap to cool down to come down a little bit. And then around 2 seconds left, I'll pull off 2, and I'll do my Cold Snap. That's kind of the goal. And then for gear, like I said, I got the level 40 uniques going on here. I got Gungar. This is awesome, or Gungnar, or whatever that is. We are building on pets still. So I got the Mr. Sinister's medallion. I got Laverian Regalia. Actually, I got a level 51. I got that I can finally equip. Where is it? Forgot about it. There it is. I'm going to save the low level one because if I decide to prestige with him, which he's an ideal character to prestige with because of his high intellect, I'll have that around to use. So we're upping, obviously, the damage. Wondergore Clay with the pet changes, now that the pets have health, I'm increasing the amount of health they have, the duration that they hang around with Wondergore Clay. Duration much more important than health, because more than likely these things will fade off before they die from damage. And summoned duration, really damage dealt with Mr. Sinisters is more important. I just haven't gotten around to getting a good Sinisters. Obviously this is level 32. I'm using Super Soldier Serum because I have nothing better. A Raptor Stone would be really, really sweet, but I don't have one. A Power Prism Shard for this build would be nice, seeing how it is kind of AoE centric. So, you know, we're building everything. The reason why Gungnir here is really awesome is because with the pet changes, the pets have critical hit chance based off of our critical hit chance. So this is buffing our spells and our pets at the same time. So it's working for both of us. I don't know how the Brutal Strike rating works, but you know, 5% chance on hit. We have a lot of hits going on. We should be seeing a lot of Brutal Strikes going out there, and I imagine we'll be a very happy player. Oh, baby's waking up. I went for critical hit on the costume. You could go for life on basic attack hit, basic hit. Not a bad choice also. But I just don't have really life issues out there. Every now and then I get some hits that come in that just seem like weird RNGs happen with dodge. A lot of people who are playing dodge characters say they are saying that, so we are not alone. And that's it. You can see my defense is okay, 45% damage reduction. I'd probably be better off around 6,000 health regen at least, but I'm not there. Although I do have, you know, a lot of health coming in with the lifesteal. Dodge rating's okay, 37%. Crit rating is pretty good, 45%. And Brutal Strike's starting to get there at 5%. I'd rather have a 10% right now. But it is what it is. So I'm going to go to Midtown, and hopefully it's kind of vacant. I'm going to show off the build before baby really wakes up. I can see stuff just dying. Find the solid targets, attack with it. Being able to do that kind of damage every 6 seconds on level 40 gear is phenomenal. I mean, ideally I would spend the money and just upgrade the uniques, but I kind of plan on using him to prestige, so I'll save the uniques, and just this build is so strong it will take me to 60 easy on subpar gear. I mean, you just got to remember, it's level 40 gear for the most part, destroying level 50 Midtown. Granted, these are just captains and everything, but wait till a boss comes around. The only thing that gets me is Rhino when I don't put myself in the right place, or when he lies about where he's charging. You know, what are you going to do about that, though? If he says he's charging in one direction and then doesn't go that way, you can't do nothing about it. He's a one-shot kill. Unless you dodge him, or someone else's Madam Hydra medal goes off. Now, of course, Cold Snap does not look as good as the one-of. It does definitely have a subpar graphic to it, because you can't really see what it's hitting. Where the one-of, you know what's going on. It looks cool. But it's doing the damage. Oh, there's some enemies. Where are they? Yeah, we got Juggernaut, so we gotta watch out for that. Well, we'll get rid of you. So there's bosses out, so of course I'll hit the signature. See how Juggernaut kind of moves around there and changes his direction and lies to you about where he's going to charge. I always keep an eye on Juggernaut and whether or not I got something sticking above my head saying dodge, take cover. I don't know what's going on here, so I'm getting out of here. I love that Cold Snap. Everything just dives around you. Usually this early in the morning there's not this many players on. I usually get a dead Midtown. So let me just pick up my loot here. Still hoping for a Raptor Stone, but it's not happening. Might have to be a little bit higher level. Sinister's lab might be a little bit too high level. Might be a little bit too low level. Oh, 51. Let's go there. I need a new medal. So, remember to turn your frost armor on. I don't even think I had it on in Midtown. And what's nice is your pets kind of play cleanup to anything that survives this cold snap and permafrost spikes. The spikes hit a pretty good AoE. You know, not quite as big as what they show. And the cold snap hits what it shows. Well, like I said, everything just kind of dies. Anything that lives, the pets pick up. Yeah, this is a little bit too low level, I think. That was just decimation. That sucks too. 11 levels higher and it's nowhere near as good. Let's try the super level orange Sinister. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is red. This might be too much. Or not. Uh-oh. Baby's waking. Trying to rush to the boss, but I can't go so fast. I have to have mana just in case I get caught. Or I make it to the boss. Oh shit. He hurts. Oh, one-shotted. Yeah, he's red. Well, we'll try him again, so you know we're right here. Let's see if I can't do this a little more intelligently. A cold snap, finish them off. He seems to be picking me out of those illusions. I wonder if it's because it's such a higher level. So this is where that plus pet health is kind of paying off too. Those guys are surviving a little bit better. You can see they're actually dying. I killed him. I'd say that was actually really awesome. Definitely underestimated the red boss at the first shot, but to be able to kill this guy, I mean, that was a red boss. I mean, green terminal basic, but low gear, awesome build. Awesome build. You will love Loki with this build PvE. Don't know what it will do PvP, but it definitely is a rockstar PvE. I don't see why it wouldn't do pretty good PvP. So, that's the Supercool Frost Mage build. Super viable. Not sure if anyone else is doing Son of Jotunheim builds, but definitely a viable, credible build. And you can see a reason why you want to build your pet health if you're going to do super hard content with Loki. Now this is just level 50. Not sure what's going to come with level 60 just yet. I'll take this time to show off all my level 50s. Oh yeah, I took advantage of that weekend. Alright, so hope it helped. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all later.